Hello everyone, welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. So this is module 2 of our sort of 6-week finger picking course that we're doing on YouTube. So just a couple of caveats to get out of the way. If you head to the first link in the description, that'll take you to our private Facebook group. You can download the PDF that's attached to this completely for free, don't want anything from you. And there's also a module before this, so make sure you check out my videos and you'll be able to see that. So the whole point of this course is teaching you from the very beginnings how to finger pick and how to do it properly. Each module has a song attached to it. This week's lesson is Dust in the Wind by Kansas. That will have gone up already, so I'll put a card up and I'll put a link in the description if you want to have a go at that. Have a go in the Facebook group, guys. Post some clips of you playing it. I'd love to see it. Module 2, adding melody. So the focus of this one is shifting melody notes within a chord while keeping the lower notes stable. So when I say the melody notes, I'm talking about the notes at the top of the chord. We're starting to add a little bit of melody into our picking patterns. And the assignment for this module is Dust in the Wind by Kansas. This will all sort of tie into that. So all we're using for this week's class is the A minor and the C minor chords. So this will be provided on the PDF for you as well, if you need them. So the whole point of this, you think of Dust in the Wind by Kansas, it's I'm paraphrasing, I'll get the music up in a second, but can you let me just do a zoom in there. Watch what's happening at the upper end of this chord. We're talking about moving these notes at the top of the chord while keeping the lower notes stable today. So what I'd like us to start, let's start with a C chord. Now, in the last module we talked about the claw technique and playing classical guitar like this. I'm going to play predominantly with my hand on the bridge today in a bit more of a sort of country and western kind of style. I'm most comfortable playing like this. If the claw feels better, feel free to play it that way, but I'm going to put my hand on the bridge. And if you want to sort of get the most out of this course, I'd recommend that you do today's lesson exclusively with your hand on the bridge. So what we're going to do to start with is I'm going to play a C chord and the first bar with the thumb, index, middle and ring. I'm playing the middle of the chord. A string, D string, G string, B string. Like that. Look at these fingers. Nothing new is happening over here, it's just a C chord. Now in the second bar there's only one note difference, which is the note on the B string. Now all the melody is going to kind of happen on the B string in this lesson. So what I'd like you to do for that second bar is just take the index finger off. And I'd like you to practice doing that for me. And get used to the idea of taking notes off the top. Pause the video and get that under your fingers. If we feel okay, let's expand upon that. So what I've done is I've condensed the 2 bars from the previous slide into 1 bar. So the first bar of this is exactly the same. But then in the second bar we return to the first 4 notes are exactly the same. It's just I'm putting the index finger back on. And then for the last bit, it's the very last note of the bar, this 3rd fret on the B string. I'm going to take the pinky and I'm going to put that on there like that. Now I think it's really important to note when you're messing around with notes, where possible, try and keep the original notes in the chord unless you're going the other way, and think of it as an addition. It's a C note with a funky note added on the top. It's a C with a B in it. Sorry, a C with a D in it. But can you see the only thing that changes is we've got 4 distinct groups of 4 notes. Here, here, here and here. And the only thing that changes is the notes on the B string. So I'd like you to pause the video and have a go. It's a lovely little sequence. All the notes should be even. All the same volume, all the same distance apart. And this is the foundation for Dust in the Wind. This is the melodic part that you can hear. Pause the video and get that under your fingers before we mess around with it again. This is exercise 2. Make sure you've got the PDF printed off to accompany this, by the way. It's really, really, really going to help you. Now we're moving on to exercise 3, where we're going to take essentially the same idea, but we're going to do it with an A minor chord instead. So the only thing that's changed is moving from that 3rd fret of the ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. We're moving it down to the 2nd fret of the G. Just a regular A minor, nothing to write home about. And just as before, the first batch of 4, I'm just going to pick the middle 4 strings with thumb, index, middle and ring. I'm going to follow the same pattern. Take the index finger off the B string. Put it back on for the 3rd group of 4. And then I'm going to take the pinky, and it's a bit of a stretch, but you'll get there. 3rd fret of the B string. It's a lovely chord. Same idea, but I'm just using A minor as the bass. Pause the video, get that under your fingers. And again, I'm just using the index finger for the 1st fret, pinky for the 3rd fret. Right, so we've sort of reached a point now where we've learned how to mess around with the note on the top. Now we need to sort of break out of that 4 pattern, and we're going to sort of gradually do that over the next couple of slides. So from exercise 4 onwards, you're going to pick 2 notes at the same time at the beginning of the bar to sort of give you a little bit more, I don't know the right way to put it, a little bit more harmony. So what I'm doing there, I'm actually going to use my thumb for the 3rd fret. I'm still playing that. If you split it up, the only thing that changes is the first note of the 4. We're picking both the A and the B string. So you see how I'm picking the 3rd fret and the 1st fret of that C chord to start with. Now I'm probably going to use my middle finger instead of my ring finger there. It feels more comfortable for me, but either or, middle or ring finger for picking that 1st fret. I'm then going to play like that. You see how I'm going? In fact, let's scrap that. I'm going P-I-M-A just as before, but what I'm doing is I'm using the ring finger to pick both of those 2 at the same time. Try that for me. I'm then going to let go for the 5th note. All I'm doing is this 0 on the B string here and this 1st fret on the B string here. I've just added that into the previous pattern. If I put the previous pattern back on, let's do it around a C actually. So you see P-I-M-A, it's the middle 4 strings. All I've done is I've just added a note onto the 1st and the 3rd beat of the bar. First bar's like this. Second bar. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So at the start of each bass note I'm picking a melodic note as well. Pause the video and get that under your fingers. This is where we're starting to kind of add little technical bits on top of each other. It's starting to sound like music now. Now, the difference between exercise 4 and exercise 5 is we're going to start adding a little bit more of a picking pattern in, and this is where I was getting confused whether to pick that top note with my ring finger or my middle finger. This is where I want to use my middle finger. So we're going to pick this. I want you to almost sort of draw an imaginary line here. We're just gonna tackle the first 4 notes to start with. Okay, up to this P here, or back up to this bass note. So I'm going to essentially pinch those 2 notes at the same time with the thumb and the middle finger. I'm then going to move my thumb down, and this is where we start getting into sort of the realms of Travis picking. Okay, my thumb's actually going to play 2 concurrent notes, and this sort of, it's a bit more of a country and western style thing. You know how I said I wanted to put my hand on the bridge instead? This is why. So I'm going to pick That's it, both C notes, 3rd fret, 1st fret, thumb and middle finger. I'm then going to take my thumb and I'm going to pick the D string underneath it. 3rd note, I'm going to pick the open G with my index finger. I'm going to go back to the root note and pick the 4th note. Just try the first 4 notes for me to start with. I'm then going to take my middle finger, pick the B string again, pick the bass note on that 2nd fret of the D, and then open G string for all 8 notes. Now the more time you spend here on this first bar, the easier the rest of this is going to be for you. You need to get that pattern. Because the second bar, the only thing that changes is we take this fella off on the first fret of the B string, take it off. First bar, second bar. Now the records, I want you to practice it really deliberately and really slowly. Pause the video, spend quite a lot of time here. If you're okay with that, we're going to apply the same logic to the rest of that. So we've got a C note, we've done the open, we're going to the 3rd fret now. So the only thing that's changed, and then the 4th bar, we go back to the original. The picking pattern stays exactly the same. Have I got both of those together? Yes, I have. The picking pattern, can you see the sheet music underneath? You've got a crotchet and then 6 quavers, a crotchet and 6 quavers. The only thing that changes is the note on the B string. Everything else is the same. So I want you to pause the video, or if you've got the PDF printed out, go along with that. Get that under your fingers. Right guys, so hopefully that's sort of giving you a deeper explanation on the picking pattern, and you can go back to the Dust in the Wind lesson. Have a go at that, and the best bit of advice I can give you is that first note is twice as long as all the others. It lasts for a whole beat, does that first note, and then the rest of it is one after another. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and... Check out the Dust in the Wind lesson, because it basically does that between the C and the A minor. Those of you that feel confident enough to, please post it in the Facebook group. I'd absolutely love to see it. I'll see you next week for Module 3. Thank you so much.